What's going on, everyone? It's Angus of Boss Fitness and welcome to my very first recipe video for 2017. Super excited to be sharing with you another installment of the macro friendly series. So in this one, get excited for a really cool one, which is all about cheesecake. So when it comes to standard cheesecake, you're looking at about 500 to 600 calories per slice, and let's face it, it tastes awesome, but it just, the actual calorie investment for that much into a little slice of cheesecake isn't worth it. So I'm going to be sharing with you an epic macro-friendly version of making cheesecake. It still tastes literally exactly the same and extremely macro-friendly. Literally the whole batch is just over 600 calories. So for many of you, you should be able to eat half of the entire lot, depending on what your macros and calories are. Myself, each time I've made this, I actually eat the whole thing. But yeah, so a perfect time of you to be making stuff like this. It's summer here in Perth, Western Australia, so really cool to have as like a refreshing snack, an afternoon meal, a post-workout meal, or maybe even as a dessert. It packs a lot of protein as well, really filling, very refreshing. You're going to absolutely love it. Let's take you through the ingredients and we'll get stuck into how to make these epic protein cheesecakes. Okay guys, so here we're going to kick off with our first ingredient, which is obviously what makes it taste like cheesecake. So you can get these nice little tubs of Philadelphia spreadable cream cheese. Obviously you can get the bigger tubs if you want, but I use 2 of these and that equals, as you'll see there, relatively small. They do the job. Really nice and very friendly macros. We're going to use a whole banana. Okay, you want to try and get one that's fairly I guess what you can call overripe, whatever, I don't know what the term is for it. Overripe, I think, when it's got all these brown spots, but you're going to want one like that, a fairly big one. We're going to be using half a cup of rolled oats. Okay, really nice. This is going to be part of our base, along with this banana and along with some PB2. So we're going to be using 4 tablespoons of PB2. This is the chocolate version flavor, really cool. And then we're also going to be using some stevia. So, not stevia, this is the actual equal, so about the same, pretty much, no calories to be able to use it. So we're going to use that to bump up the sweetness in the dish. And then as part of the filling, we're going to be using, obviously this is the filling section, this stuff here is the base. So over here we're going to be using some blueberries. I want to use about 150 grams. You can use some more if you want, but 150 seems to be the perfect mix with this. And then we're going to be using 1 scoop of whey protein. So at the moment I am using choc honeycomb flavor. I'd suggest you try and use a chocolate flavor if you can. A vanilla one might work well, but I can't guarantee. And then obviously the cream cheese is part of the filling as well. So what you're also going to want to do is you're going to want to use a muffin tray. So depending on the size that you want, these will determine how much you make. You want to spray it with a little bit of olive oil as well, alright? That way it doesn't stick when we freeze it. So let's now get into how to actually make these cheesecakes. I'm going to plonk my camera here on the bench and get excited for some action as well as some voiceover time, okay? Voiceover time is in town, and here we are making our base. So what you're going to be doing is using a fork on a chopping board to basically mash up your banana. You're going to be then mixing this with some oats to be able to help form that base and use some of the PB2. So the reason why we're doing this as opposed to like conventional cheesecakes where you have like a biscuit base and that sort of stuff is that this is a way to be able to drop the calories big time while making it super nice, because really just using this alone, you could use that to make like some protein balls or something and taste really nice, even just in itself, which you'll realize. And our aim here is to basically just get it all into a nice mix, and you're basically looking for a protein ball sort of consistency. And we're going to be using a little teeny bit of water as well, which you will soon see, and this is just going to help bind it a bit, because you want it to be to a state where it's just a teeny bit sticky, and that way it's easy to be able to handle and to be able to bind together. And seriously, like, you can even eat this just by itself. It's so yum. I've made this a few times before where I just freeze it and then it's ready to roll. So you're going to press this into your muffin tray. Obviously it's been previously sprayed with a bit of olive oil or whatever, and basically you're just going to lay it all out, split it between 8, and you're going to have some boiling water. Okay, you're basically going to use this to be able to put your thumb or your finger in, which is going to help you to be able to press in the mix into the mold without it actually sticking, and so that your finger can actually do the job properly. So nice and easy, okay? That way obviously you're getting a nice flat base. You want to make sure that the mixture covers the whole bottom and that you have it a little bit like this, okay? And then obviously from there, bam, there's your base. What we're going to be doing is bombing this straight into the freezer, and we want it to be in there for a few hours. Ideally overnight if you want, but you're going to put the base into the freezer for a little while. Put it in there for about half an hour-ish, and then we're going to get straight into making the actual mixture and the berry component itself. So I suggest that if you don't have a food processor, that you use a nice NutriBullet. You're going to add your berries in, you're going to add your stevia, you're then going to add in your Philadelphia stuff. Now this stuff here is the light one, so the idea is that it's heavily reduced in calories, all right? And you're going to add in your protein powder as well. Ideally try and aim for chocolate, okay? If you can't source chocolate though, use vanilla, and that way you're really just going to get that nice chocolatey berry flavor. Seriously, I've played around with this recipe a few times with different sort of flavor combinations. Trust me, this one is on point. You're also going to add a teeny bit of water into the mixture here. You'll see me use that's just to help it to bind it when you blitz it, because otherwise your blender's going to have a hard time without it really. So you're going to bomb this in the old NutriBullet, okay? Blitz it until you get a nice like smoothie bowl type consistency. I don't know if you've actually been to a smoothie joint where you get the acai bowl and whatever, but you'll see it's like, kind of like a thick smoothie, really. Like you could drink this and it would taste really nice, but obviously we're going to use this for the mixture, okay? Don't be naughty like me and lick the actual thing you could cut yourself, but YOLO after all, right? So spoon this evenly throughout all your little cases, okay? And then obviously from here you're going to bomb this straight into the freezer. This is where you do want to leave it in for a decent hunk of time. Okay, so make sure that you're doing it overnight ideally, and then you just want to use a nice little knife and spoon them all out, rather than actually doing what some people do, which is sort of sit them into boiling water. This is just nice and easy to get a knife in and then you're ready, okay? So as you can see, extremely macro friendly. These are 80 calories a piece. Very good in terms of the macro quantities of this, so it should be fairly easy for you to fit a decent amount of them in. These are so nice, really can't wait for you to try them yourself. Ha. And boom, there we have it. 8 amazing, delectable, super nice, macro-friendly peanut butter and blueberry cheesecake. So yum, as you would have seen. Super macro-friendly, very easy to make. Just a means of mashing some banana, adding some oats and PB2 together. Bam, there's your base. Freeze that for a little while, take that out, or even while it's actually in the freezer. Bam, make your filling, blitz up some blueberries with some of the Philadelphia cream and a little bit of that lovely stevia. And some of the whey protein, and bam, there's your filling. Freeze it for a while and then you're ready to mung away on it. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure that if you loved it and that you're gonna try it, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Would love it if you can pay it forward that way. And please as well, if you're new to the channel, what's going on? Make sure that you subscribe and stay tuned for all my awesome videos that come out every single week. And feel free everyone to follow me on my social media links below, okay? We're talking Facebook, Instagram, email if that's your thing, the whole shoot and caboodle. And yeah, look forward to sharing in each of your journeys. Thank you so much for watching. Any questions or anything, drop it below. And I'll see you next time in the Boss Fitness world. Take care.